One of the greatest and most beloved stars in pro wrestling history returned to Monday Night Raw in his hometown of Calgary as Bret Hart guest hosted on Raw. The Hitman headlined a packed broadcast in which number one contenders were determined, championships were decided, and the latest chapters in rivalries written. What went down, who picked up the key victories, and who sought to confront the Hall of Famer? We'll all find out on this episode of Raw, but we start things off with the Wyatt Six against American May, with Uncle Howdy watching from his brother Bray Wyatt's trademark rocking chair. His stablemates rivalry with American Made kind of ended, defeated Chad Gable and his crew. The heels picked apart the opposition, providing that success can be had against the Wyatt Six if you isolate them. Even in the babyface since the fight back, Gable and Co caught them off. This was the moment until Monstrous Rowan recovered after being buried under plunder and unloaded on American Made. After neutralising Natalya inside, cross-delivered a German suplex to get the win. Moments later, Howdy entered the ring, delivered sister Abigail to Julius and Loomis with the finisher of Frog Splash to win. A fun, energetic and chaotic match is appropriate for an and hopefully they move on. Maybe a Judgment Day feud could be interesting, but it has been pretty one-sided. But yeah, I think it's been a good introduction for the Wyatt Six, 7 out of 10. Before weeks after a shocking betrayal of Damian Priest at SummerSlam, Finn Balor finally addressed his former friend in the WWE Universe. Seething with anger, he blamed the archer with me for pushing him into the background and keeping him from winning the World Heavyweight Championship in 2023. He accused his former teammate of screwing him out of the title against Seth Rollins' back when Priest was carrying the Money in the Bank briefcase. This drew out Priest and then the rest of the Judgment Day. Ripley into the ring in an attempt to help her fellow Terror Twin, but a numbers advantage proved too much. The heels laid into the archer infamy with Ripley's crutch until Jey Uso made the save. This felt like a segment designed to heat the Judgment Day back up. Had they been dominated by the Terror Twins recently, it worked for them, but they still need a quality win or two before they're probably built back up. Moving on into the women's tag titles, Balor and Cargo against the Unholy Union. Balor and Cargo proved their victory over Fire and Dawn for the women's tag team title at Berlin was no fluke, defending their titles here. The match was on the shorter side compared to their PLE duel, but the action was solid and the two in-ring teams exhibited solid chemistry. Balor is an absolute workhorse and Cargo is an explosive hot tag, a formula that has benefited her since she arrived in WWE. Add to that Fire and Dawn's work as a team, underrated by many and undervalued until recently, and you should have a fun match that should serve as another piece of the puzzle in the evolution of the tag team division. I think that's exactly what it achieved here. So yeah, gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Before Bret Hart made his return to the ring, joining Testator and Wade Barrett in the squared circle for a special announcement. Survivor Series coming to Vancouver in November. As the Hitman spoke about the importance of champions, Gunther interrupted, mockingly expressing his love for Bill Goldberg. Sami Zayn interrupted and reiterated his desire to challenge the Reign Hanover for the world title. Gunther again denied the man who defeated him at WrestleMania. A brawl broke out and Zayn stood tall again alongside Hart. This was a perfectly fine use of the Hall of Famer. His influence on both men is evident, and utilising his connection to the Canadian fans to establish Zayn also worked nicely. It would have been nice to say more, but I thought this was short and sweet and concise, and yeah, got the point across. Good stuff. Before it's time for Dragon Lee against Dom Mysterio, the Judgment Day got one over on the LWO when Dom defeated Dragon. Liv Morgan factored heavily into the final moments as she clipped the knee of Lee, dropping him onto the ropes and setting him up for a 619 from Mysterio and the deciding Frog Splash. The match featured perfectly acceptable wrestling, but again accepted to be focused on rebuilding the Judgment Day as a dominant and destructive faction. In that regard, this works and continued to put the heat on the pairing of Morgan and Mysterio. So yeah, I thought it did a decent job there, getting Mysterio over. Yeah, probably did what was needed, nothing really more to it, but I thought a solid win for Mysterio. Natalya made a long way to return to the ring as the hometown hero joins Vega and Valkyria to battle the Pure Fusion Collective. Much of this match occurred during a commercial, leading a hot tag to the Queen of Hearts. It was a red hot comeback for the babyfaces ahead of a creative finish and hard fought victory. The match was exactly what it needs to be. It highlighted Natalya giving her a much deserved homecoming and potentially ending their rivalry with Pure Fusion Collective, hopefully at least. But yeah, I'm finding it very hard to get really invested in this, to be honest. 5 out of 10. It was then confirmed Drew McIntyre and CM Punk will settle their long-running rivalry inside Hell in a Cell on October 5th at Bad Blood. The announcement was made by GM Adam Pearce moments after dividing and Scott's attention from his friend Wade Barrett, with whom he appeared destined to throw fists after warming him up not to stop him from beating Punk up yet. McIntyre vowed that Pearce was signing Punk's death warrant with whatever announcement he had to for another match between the two, only to look concerned. The introduction of a potential program between McIntyre and Barrett would have presumably to see the in-ring return of Bad News was an interesting development that made sense within the context of what we saw a week ago. It also hinted of what awaits McIntyre after the feud. It's been a good, decent feud so far. I think, it's a perfect way to round it off too. Before we got Rey Mysterio against Finn Balor, the revival of the Judgment Day's credibility continued with Balor's brutal attack on Mysterio. A one-on-one showdown between two influential superstars concluded with the inaugural Universal Champion trapping Mysterio in the ropes after refusing to break the half Boston Crab. Simply punishing him was not enough though. Balor attacked Mysterio with two shotgun dropkicks that sent a legendary luchador into the ring post on the apron before standing over him and trash talking as medical and security arrived. This is what we've been waiting to see from the Irishman after betraying Priest. So it's been quiet, but the promo coupled with the beatdowns kind of heats that reheating up of the Judgment Day, and it will be up to Triple H and the creative team to keep it going, because good signs so far. 7 out of 10. Before we got the fatal four-way to determine the number one contender for the IC title, and it was Jey Uso who won it and is headed to Bad Blood, I presume. The former right-hand man of the Bloodline outlasted Dragunov, Dunn and Strowman to claim his title shot. The match was excellent, the best of the night. It featured a concentrated effort to slow down Strowman and some well-timed interference from Reed, who made sure the monster among men would not advance by driving him through the table. The interactions between Dragunov and Dunn were every bit as good as one would expect, and Uso remains the picture of consistency in terms of crowd heat and participation. He's immensely popular, and given how often he has snuffed the title shot but come out short, this will be the time to give him the push. Uso versus Breaker is definitely going to be a red hot contest, and really can't wait for that match, to be honest. It's going to be great. On the whole, gets 7 out of 10 from me. Overall, Raw this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought, it's a pretty solid episode of Raw, obviously building up nicely towards Bad Blood, and I have to say the card is taking shape. Some very interesting matches on there, and some decent views as well coming into the show as well. So looking forward to that. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.